I spent 18 years, close to 18 years, in government policy and legislative work, pushing a lot of paper around, and also shaping a lot of ideas, which I found very challenging and very rewarding. So at the time that I decided to buy, I was working and earning a reasonable income, but that reasonable income still wasn't enough to participate in the marketplace at market rate housing. And my emotional state when I surveyed my options at purchasing at that time was sadness, mostly because I realized I couldn't buy in the neighborhood that I had grown accustomed to. I've lived in this neighborhood since 1982. The relationships that I've built over the years are like family to me. And having that consistency, that continuity with people that over time you begin to care about is invaluable. And it was kind of heartbreaking to realize, well, I can't live in this neighborhood if I want to purchase something that I can afford. At the time I was thinking of buying, there were a couple of homeowner assistance programs that I looked into and I participated in. I went to a couple of workshops, and Homestead had one of those, so I learned how the Homestead model worked at that time. This is 2007. So finding a place in my neighborhood, which is Fremont, Seattle, was difficult even then, but I was fortunate enough to find a place that just barely fell under the limit that I had at that time. One of the amazing benefits of owning a homestead property is that the expense of one's mortgage, in my case anyway, in this neighborhood, is less than half of what most people are paying for rent. And having that benefit has allowed me to start my business, which I don't think I could have done that without that kind of savings. Housing is such a determiner of society. The division of people by restrictions on housing has a long history of dividing our country and being an expression of prejudice. My father was African American and my mother was German, ethnic German. And in the United States, when they first got together, it was illegal for them, for my father to own property in many states, let alone get married to someone who's not of his same ethnicity. Affordability has a lot of potential for reversing that trend, which still happens from time to time. I mean, we're not over discrimination. Discrimination still happens, especially through housing. So I see affordability as a really important key. I sort of get a knot in my stomach when I'm reading about house pricing and how it's driving people out of their longtime neighborhoods and disrupting community as opposed to building community. My perspective is that as our nation is such an economic flexor of muscles, I don't understand why it can't make that a priority, the priority of building neighborhoods through affordability as opposed to splintering neighborhoods due to economic inability to participate. What's changed for me as a result of being a homeowner is a really lovely and delightful and exquisite and ecstatic peace of mind. So let's see, I'm starting a business. I live in the community that I kind of grew up in as an adult. I have a mortgage payment that's low and affordable. I guess if I didn't have Homestead Community Land Trust, I wouldn't be able to do any of that.